So in the last video, we just discussed a lot of things that spirituality talk about. So it's a short video. I cannot discuss the whole spirituality in it, but the essence is, yeah, you are the eternal consciousness. Everybody, everything, and everything on this, everything that is manifest on this earth is the same eternal consciousness. Let me go into the modern science and what it has brought us to. Are we looking at the same things from different sides? The same uh, lake. You're just looking at different from two different sides or two different banks. Is that what is happening now? That's what is making this confusion between spirituality and science per se. Spirituality talked about multiple dimensions, and miracles and places where no rules are followed. Quantum physics is one interesting part of physics. It seems to be completely negating most of the findings of the classic theoretical physics. The moment we went into the size of electrons, the quarks, such subatomic particles, people have seen that nothing which the usual physics discusses at the level of our perception actually works. You talk about most of the theoretical physics is based on billiards ball, and other physical matter. But then as you keep going down to those small sizes, none of these theories work. I'm not a physicist. I'm a medical practitioner. I have always been into science, to because I felt it so interesting, and to whatever I think, whatever how much ever I understand. These are my ideas about what modern physics or modern science actually talks about. There was this famous two slit theory, which had always amused me. Like, there were two slits through which the electrons were made to pass. But then, when you can actually read about this theory a lot. I can just go into what the outcome was. The simple outcome of this theory was that when you look at an electron, it behaves as a particle. When you do not look at an electron, it behaves as a wave. So this was amusing. So just because of you looking at it in some way, um, the behavior of an electron totally changes. This was possibly the only way they could explain it. Was when you look at it, you actually are throwing light on it. You only look at things which block light. You don't look at anything which is transparent. So when something blocks light to a certain degree, you are able to see it. Otherwise, you cannot perceive anything. Don't think you are able to perceive or see everything. So only very few things you are able to see. So when you look at an electron, it behaves differently, possibly because the light falling on it makes it behave differently, just because the smallest because of the mere sheer size of it, the small size of it. So but nobody still has a good explanation for this two-state theory. There was another experiment where a cardboard or a hard opaque object was placed, and electrons were allowed to pass across. There were no slits this time, as in the two-slit theory, and still electrons were able to be seen on the opposite side of the cardboard. That was so amusing. How could they explain it? They could see it happening, but there was no way to explain how could the electrons pass through something which they cannot. They need so much of energy, and how do they do it? The explanation what was given to this, that the electrons possibly at that size, the subatomic sizes, the electrons possibly are capable of absorbing energy from the future, from the electron of the future, which is on the other side of the cardboard. It is able to get in the energy, and then it moves to the opposite side. So at that size, In the world of electrons, time doesn't there's no time. There is no a rule to of something is a particle, something is a wave. With this theory, with this experiment, they actually started feeling that the same electron can exist in different places at the same time, because time there's no time in the realm of subatomic particles, in the world of subatomic particles. So the same electron can exist in different places at the same time, and this led on to people to think that if some such a thing is happening at the level of the electrons, it should be happening at other levels too. It's just that we are able to perceive it at that small size. So that's where people have started talking about parallel universes existing. People say that there could be, theoretically, it is a fully defined theoretical concept, that there are possibly multiple universes which are happening just because a single electron exists in different forms at the same time. There are multiple universes happening simultaneously, and who knows whether what you're doing in the other universe. Possibly in this universe you decide upon to go in a certain way. In the other universe you're possibly going on the other way, and there is a universe where you don't exist at all. So this is the concept of it, and it is the people have started to move from the term universe to multiverse. One of the most popular theories at present is the string theory, and it says that everything exists in the form of strings, and the development of this theory was the M theory, which just says that all these multiple universes, they possibly are coexisting, and there is possibly a membrane to which they are attached, and that's where these universes just coexist. And this theory is completely proven on paper, but there is no way to perceive it. So far we don't know if this theory is practically true or not, but it's otherwise. But what the scientists say is some theory which has been so well proven on paper. It's never happened so far that it has not been practically feasible. It is so clear on paper that it has to be possibly true to be this way. And why are we not perceiving it? Why are we not able to find it? Because for this theory to become correct, there are at least the universe should exist in 11 different dimensions. And mind you, we just hardly know 4 dimensions at present. There are so many other dimensions which we have not perceived at all in our life, which we have no idea about. People talk about dark matter these days, dark energy these days. They say that the particles, the atoms that we know of, the physical world that we know of, is hardly 4% of the entire universe that exists. And the remaining 96% we cannot see because they don't absorb light. You just see things which absorb light, and you can never see those things. You can't feel those things. They exist. This brings us this sorts of endorses everything that spiritually people have been able to see when they looked into themselves about multiple dimensions. It has been proven now that every subatomic particle actually goes off and come back. It has been scientifically proven and demonstrated. It's just similar to what Gautama Buddha was able to see within himself. um, and it just as quantum physics keep going on, it just seems that there is a single the whole universe is in the form of a field. It is just in the form of a field, and that's where and everything exists in the form of a wave or a vibration. In the and that wave of vibration is possibly the eternal universal consciousness, which is what we are too. So there is always this unmanifest form, which is the universal consciousness, which manifests in different physical dimensions that the spirituality has talked about. And every bit of quantum physics or modern physics seems to be substantiating similar findings, that there is a universal field in which these particle matters uh, coexist, and it just seems to suggest that everything that in front of us is just an illusion. It is not exactly how that thing works. Whatever you see in front of you, it's just what falls on your retina and what your brain perceives. It doesn't mean that the thing exists in the same way as you see it in front of you. That's a beautiful thing of it, and people have been able to see that through meditation, looking into themselves, and people are able to prove these things right now with so much of technology, with a lot of things happening. um, this list keeps going on, and as you go, people, somebody who says, yeah, science is different, spirituality is different, I would just think that those people have accepted certain beliefs, and they have stopped at certain point of their evolution. As both science and spirituality keeps evolving, they seem to be going deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. It is like a lot of spiritual gurus have talked about this. um, you know um, uh, seeking learning things, as diving into a floorless pit, or a bottomless pit. You just keep going in, there is no end. You always find there is something more, something more, something more, and that something more just leads on to uh, has led on to people uh, of the universal truth, possibly of a universal consciousness within yourself. It's again, I tell you, it's not. These are all things I just wanted to bring out, that there is not much difference between what ancient philosophies or spirituality talked about and what we are looking at today. It's just for us to, so I mean, don't believe in anything, as I told you. Experiment for yourself, read about each of this, think about each of this, and keep delving into meditation. I just hope that these interesting facts helped you, um, you know um, at least change a little bit of your perspective, and made you open enough to experiment into these things. That's the basis of meditation, in my opinion. Thank you.